Avon's calling. You notice this is not illuminated. It should be illuminated. So we've got in here, we got wooden floors, or do we have LVP floors? How much plastic is in it? And the reason why I'm asking is I'm not required to check the moisture content in your floors. I do it as a courtesy. And after it gets around 20%, everybody thinks that's pretty much elevated. And I'm getting, as much as 20%, 17%. So has it not been acclimated? Is it going to dry out? I'm going to call out some other issues with the upstairs floors. So maybe a factory rep could look at the issues and could also, maybe they could comment and give you some peace of mind. You don't want this floor looking like the Atlantic Ocean in 6 months. You don't want it delaminating and coming apart in 6 months. Why are the moisture readings higher in this floor than in other floors? Why is that? Why does it happen like that? Okay, all home inspectors are required to render opinions about the foundations. Now, it doesn't make us engineers, even though I do use some engineering equipment. I actually measure the floor height elevation differential. And I use that as a guideline or something to go to, so that, to back up my observations and my other observations, which are nominal. This is brand new construction. I got some trees that are too close to the structure. The floor is a little higher right here, and we got a split in this window. So but it's not a lot higher, and it's not different than other parts of the house. The guidelines that I'm using are no more than 1 inch of floor height elevation differential within 25 feet, and no more than 2 inches of floor height elevation differential overall. And I'm not reaching either of those two guidelines. I'm not finding a measurement that would raise alarms. So, but again, I don't calculate slope. That's not my job. I do know that this door right here has got a big old gap in it. How about that? But that could be the door rollers. That could be adjusted. Okay? I don't know if you can tell that my voice is sounding a little tired, or I sound a little slower, or you can see the shadows are longer out the windows and the daylight's changed. But this is the last video of the day. Now, I might, it's going to be in a different order. This will be earlier in the report, but this is the time when I like to stop and say, thank you, dear client. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your business. Those things mean the world to my family and I. And if you could leave me a good Google review, that means a lot to a small businessman. So if you find it in your heart to check me out on Google and leave me a good Google review, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And for all my 12 followers out there, 13, thank you for signing on. Okay, all my YouTube followers out there. Well, there's a like button over here somewhere. And then there is I heard that if you've got insomnia, my radio voice can lull you to sleep, and there's a subscribe button down there. So there's a like and a subscribe and all those kinds of things. And I got 15 followers now. Man, I'm taking off. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we come in. This is the front door, and I talked about the foundation, which I think is in pretty good shape. And then talked about the floor, because we got this wooden laminate floor, we got some ceramic floors, and we got some stairs here. And the stairs look like they're in pretty good shape. And I'm looking at these stairs, and I just kind of go around in a counterclockwise mode, working my way towards the front door. And we're kind of coming on up here. And while we're still talking about the floor, okay? So we're still talking about the floor. There's kind of a gap right there in the flooring. I had some blue tape right there. And then over here on the flooring, there's kind of like a gap in the piece right in there. This is the media room, so on both sides of the media room, so we kind of triangulated around the media room. We've got a better gap right there. Okay, so we kind of come on up, and then I've got a video about the bathroom. That trim ring is loose. GFCIs and those kinds of things, and clips on the sinks. This is the primary bedroom closet. This is how you get into the attic. Attic ladder has a crack on one of its rails or stiles, whatever you call it. This is the magic wand. I've seen some notes from another inspection company, and maybe they've taken care of some of these things, but I've been looking for them. They said there's some pins missing up here. I haven't found them yet. A blind inspector. Okay. There's your linen closet. We had a video about all but this is the primary bathroom. This is kind of interesting. I found a couple dead birds in the yard. And we're like, oh, they fought to the death or whatever. No, but it looks to me like they just ran into the window. Check that out. Is that crazy or what? Bam, 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 bam. There's just a cluster of them. Anyway, it's kind of sad. Bathtub's fine. Hot's on the left, cold's on the right. We already talked about the plumbing. We're talking about doors and stuff now. There's also some kind of a note about the pocket door. I only found one pocket door downstairs. I thought it was an upstairs pocket door. This is the primary bedroom suite. And it's got a nice view of the backyard, and your neighbors' houses too. And so we're just kind of moving on through here. In the media room is where we're at here. And we got the chiller. And in the media room, what I noticed is that there's a hot spot on the ceiling right here. That I think what's happening is we got a air duct leak because we've been running the heater today. So those are all GFCI protected, by the way, so you have to go to the garage and reset them. And if they trip, that's what's running your chiller as well. So heads up on that. You don't want to unchill. Stay chilled, my friends. And then we're coming along in here. And hot and cold is reversed. Already said that. These are kind of flimsy. And we got an interior plumbing video coming up. This is the northeast bedroom. I'll look it up. I've got a graphic. But this latch does not work real well. It's very difficult to work. And if Grampy can't do it, you can't do it. It needs to work like the others. It needs to be easy to work. It's easy for them to adjust that. And again, now here's an interesting thing about these doors. The door manufacturer says that all 6 sides of your door should be painted. This is the face. This is the latch side style. That's the back face. Okay, then you got your top rails and bottom rails. It goes up there. Does that look painted to you? Does it look painted? Can you see it yet? Doesn't look painted to me. So our doors, we didn't finish painting those. Coming on along. Still looking for the missing hinges and the missing screws. And anyway, I'm still looking for stuff because I'm a looker. Now over here, this is the northwest bedroom. And so this would be the east window. We're facing the north wall. And this window does not raise and lower like it should. So we kind of got an issue there. And got a whole bathroom video here. It's pretty boring. It's in pretty good shape, but I'm also showing, I'm also demonstrating that we're conscientious inspectors here today. This is Conscientious Inspector School, and we're turning off the lights. I don't know if you noticed that, but we are turning off the lights and securing the home as we go. See, I turned off those lights. That's what we're doing. How's that closet look? Off. Okay. On. There we go. And we've been up here, but we haven't turned off the lights. Sometimes if you see something twice, you see something else. So that was my plan. That was my plan all along. It was. Just got to feeling bad about those birds, I guess. Now, maybe on the appliances, maybe Thermostat should not be located in bedrooms. It's a dumb animal. If you want the house to be set at 63 degrees, you can put it on 63 degrees. You can close the door. You can be perfectly happy. People, this door drags, by the way. See that? It's not supposed to drag. People on the other side of this dragging door, they might not be as comfortable as you. And that's why you have a lock. They'll be texting you saying, "Can you turn it up? Can you turn it down?" So that's kind of an issue. They do make little satellites that you can install in other rooms that kind of equalize things out. I don't know how they work exactly. I do know that they make them and they are available and they can improve the living situation and they don't cost very much. I know that much. I just know, now you know everything I know. There's another thing about this thermostat. This home faces north, okay? So this is the south and it faces northeast, so this is actually southwest. And the sun comes in here and blazes on this radiant heat burned by the sun. Okay, the sun hits this and the thermostat thinks that this room is warmer than it actually is, and so it turns itself off. Or it turns itself on in the summertime. But anyway, it has trouble keeping up with its commands when you have radiant heat. You're not supposed to install a thermostat on an outside wall. You're not supposed to install a thermostat in the kitchen. You're not supposed to install a thermostat in a bedroom, a sleeping area. You're not supposed to install a thermostat facing a sunlit window, light thing. There we go. We're going downstairs. They're rambling guys. And we'll go till this runs out. There's no sense in doing 2 batteries on this because I've already said thank you very much. I don't remember you. You work. He works, I remember him. This is pretty good for under the closet space. I gotta say, this is pretty luxurious for this type of storage. I'm not here to sell you the house. It's a great neighborhood. I'm not here to just do anything like that. I do like working close to my house though. Welcome to the neighborhood. This is our kitchen. There's some controversy about the switches on the side. They're no longer to code. When the builder pulled the code to build this house, that was allowed. That was the acceptable location. That was like everybody's answer. And they went in and they changed it all in this next code cycle. And I have listened in. I've spoken briefly with some of the people on the code council that decide these things, and the people that I was talking to were very nonplussed by that rule, and it's going to change. So if it was me, I would leave it. You know, if you have a cord coming over here and your kid drags something off, then I didn't tell you to leave it. I'll just erase this tape. But it's been working like that for a while, and it would work in my house. So we got GFCI here. And even though these are labeled GFCIs, we do not have GFCI there, we do not have GFCI there, we do not have GFCI over there. The GFCI is not working. So we need to get that fixed. Our low voltage wiring in here is kind of hanging, I'm sure. Really not sure this is the best low voltage wiring installation. So we kind of want to pay some attention to that. This is the mud room, so we got a little bit of wainscoting here. And the garage door is open. Oh, and we're going to, speaking of the garage door, we're going to close this garage door. Are you going to lock me in or out? No. And we got a whole video about that. Close sesame. Make sure everything is reset. One thing that was off when I was here was the car charger. For whatever reason, that was off when I got here. So I'm leaving it off. And again, for reasons beyond my control or whatever, but when I found this lawn sprinkler system, okay, today it was in the off position. I'm leaving it again like I found it. I don't remember what the thermostats were set on, so they were set on heat, but they were set pretty high, and I just set them on 70. So whatever I set them on is lower than what they were on. So that would be a energy conscientious thing that I did. So I'll get extra credit for that. Now this is kind of interesting. This is your pantry, and this is a fresh air induction vent. And what happens is it's makeup air. So you have a gap underneath your door. And so when this vent hood kicks, All right. Well, it's got to get the air from someplace. You can't pull it back to your chimney. You don't have a chimney. You got a crack in the door. It could come from that. But this is a pretty tight house. So the air's got to come from someplace. So it's actually, they created this vent in this closet that will, as it's closed and this vent comes on, it will suck fresh air, and that will allow the vent to exhaust the air up through it. It looks like a scratch. Look at that. So all the appliances seem to be working pretty good. I don't inspect refrigerators or ice makers. That's a reflection. That's not though. That's a scratch. But we're making ice. Okay, it's cool. That boils water. Dishwasher, garbage disposal spins. You know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen the disposal stopper, and I don't know what the reason for this hole is. That's the switch for your disposer. This is the secretary. This is a little better than the others. I'm going to show you the door wise. These are not GFCI protected either in the secretary. Now, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is a pull for the pocket door, and you don't have a latch. You can't get out of it latched, but this beats the wall every time. And so I put some little tape there to keep it from beating the wall, you know. I mean, if you never use it, then that's not a problem, but I just thought it was kind of unusual. The lights are coming down. I tested that. That's the only floor receptacle I found. I'm going to lock this door now. It works fine. It works fine. But check this out. Daylight. Oh, the sun's not my friend right now. But I've got other pictures. You can see it. You don't need me to point it out to you. Coming on around, we probably could use a little more caulk over here. And the paint finish is just kind of off right there. You know, I don't really inspect for that kind of stuff, but you know, it's a new house, and my client, or this is my client's quote unquote responsibility, is to see these little things and get the builder to paint them. But you know, an extra set of eyes don't hurt, and anything that I do in regard to fit and finish like that, it's all supplemental. It's all incidental. I wasn't really required to do it, so this is an interesting feature. This is the dining room, and dining rooms are allowed to have, I don't know why they're not required, but it has something to do with being able to wire the house conveniently and economically. And they say, well, can we just make this circuit, you know, part of the kitchen circuit, and then it's on a GFCI, and can these be GFCI? Of course, you can always add more GFCIs than you need. But anyway, it's kind of an interesting quirk that I just kind of would point out to you. This is the coat closet. There we go. And, okay. This is a door stopper. This is a door stop. And we're missing half of our stopper. Half of our stop. Excuse me. Coming in. And they know about that because they put the red tape on it. But you know, I got to put my 2 cents in. And then speaking of my 2 cents, I was also talking about these are a little bit flimsy, but they seem to be consistent. And that's about it. Boring. Oh, now we got another thermostat in another bedroom. That's facing the north and northeast. So that it's facing these windows is not an issue like upstairs. But there's still this thermostat. You can put it on what temperature you want it. You close the door. You can lock your door. And then everybody's out there texting you. Going, we're burning up out here. You know, we're freezing. Can you... Anyway, it should be in the... You know, it's uglier out here. It's easier to hide them. I get that. Nobody wants to sit there and stare at the thermostat. But there are, you know, some rules, if you will. Nobody likes rules. Turning off things. So we've reached the end of the LaSalle Riverboat ride. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Keep your arms inside of the boat car until we come to a complete stop. Don't forget your sweaters, your hats, your canes, your purses, your cameras. And until the next time you need a home inspection, or tell your friends about it. Good Home Inspection is a pretty good company, I think.